Hey guys, for today's video I got some new wheels and tires I'm going to be mounting up on my TRX4. I got these Pro-Line Krawlers. I'm going to be mounting these onto these RC4-wheel drive or RC4WD, I'm sure that's 4-wheel drive. These are the White Wagons wheels, 5 lugs, and you need these hubs because these come with I guess for the axles that have the pins in them, and you need these for the hexes, and those are going to replace parts on those. And then you need these rings right here. These are the Beadlock rings that go inside the wheels. These are so that the Pro-Line tires will fit on these wheels. Let's open these wheels up, tires I mean. And I find it odd they come in resealable bags. What's that about? Keep your tires fresh? Sometimes when you get new tires, you'll notice I'll have like this coating on them. It's like a mold release or something, and I'm gonna clean that off and make these nice and shiny. But before I do that, I gotta take these foams out. And the best way I find is that you do it like that. You kind of roll it in a ball. It's easy to do it against my chest. There we go. I am going to keep using these foams. I'm going to order some new ones later. I want to try these out and see how they are. I'm sure they're not going to be great, but I'm going to try those out just to see how they are from the stock. And once you got the foams out, these tires they're surprisingly rubbery and bendy and soft. When I clean tires, the first thing I do, I spray them down with some WD-40. This is what I find gets that mold release off best. Some people have told me Simple Green does it. And I tried Simple Green, and I believe that's a cruel prank they play on people. That's not Simple Green does not work. And I take this sponge and I use it to wipe it down. I don't use that rough side. I use the softer side. That will tear your tires apart. And you can clearly see in the sunlight where that mold release is. You can target those places first. And I always try to do it in the sunlight. That way it makes it easier to get all the spots and you don't miss something that you're trying to clean. Now I take a water hose and I spray off what I can. Now I take Simple Green and spray these tires down. I hit them with a brush and rinse it off again. Alright, peel back the sides, get that water out. Get all that water out. You don't want anything inside there if you can help it. Let's get these wheels opened up. Careful, don't want to drop these just yet. It's cool. Those blue rings replace these black rings. These are 2 pieces and they're bolted together. And this is a piece that these replace. You see that little slot. Alright, let's take these lug nuts off. Go ahead and loosen them. Oh, don't lose that. Some tiny pieces. Maybe I should have done this on somewhere that didn't have asphalt underneath it, right? Go. I think it's together pretty good, isn't it? There it goes. And I imagine when these go back together, all these are going to have to line up. Yeah, those 5 holes, when they're lined up, the rest of the wheel doesn't line up. So you got to line the wheel up too. See these right here. Yep. Huh, these don't have the holes in them right there. That's not expected. That may not fit right. I guess we'll have to find out, won't we? These rings, the same thickness. The blue ones are slightly taller. Huh, I don't know, I guess we'll put them on and see. Start off by getting the foams in there. Just pinch them together, kind of roll them up like that. Get them in there. The tire does stretch a little bit. There you go, it's that easy. Now let's take one of these wheels. Let's go ahead and line it up before we get in there so we can make sure it goes together right. Just line up the holes and there we go. Everything's lined up. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to mark it on the inside. There. That way, when I get it together, I can be sure I line everything up correctly. Let's get the ring in there. There we go. The walls inside of here are going to clamp down pretty much all the way to that ring, to the back of the wheel. Let's stick it in there. Make sure that that bead goes in there right. This half, make sure it lines up. There we go. To help line this up, I'm going to take these Allen wrenches, stick them through a couple of the holes. There we go. Now I can work the bead around. Feels like it's set right. Let's start screwing it together and find out. Alright, so I put one of these together off camera because I wanted to get a feel for it before I did it on camera. And what I discovered is that you see how these heads, these screw heads on this side, I wanted those little lug nuts on the outside, and you can't do that because you see the hexes, the hubs with the hexes, they don't have holes there for the heads of the screws, whereas the ones that came on it did. It's kind of hard to see. There you go. And so what I did was I drilled out one of these so you could fit the screws down in there, and that worked when I put it together. But when you try to put the hex in there, it doesn't work. It actually hits against the heads of the screws that go into the cavity there, and so you can't do this. You can't, as much as I wanted to, you can't. You just end up having to do it this way. Now to get these wheels together, my original idea was to take this piece of flat bar, put it on there, and put a screw in there like this, and screw it together. That doesn't work. It pushes the rubber into the wheel too tightly, and you don't want that. What I ended up doing is taking one of the old hubs, and I drilled 2 holes in it, and I put felt on this side so maybe it doesn't scuff up the wheel too bad. And this is what I'm going to use to put it together. Take this hub and put it on there. Line it up with the holes. Doesn't have to be perfect just yet. And I take this screw with a washer on it, stick it in there. Take that one, put it in there. Get it seated. Now I take these washers, I stick these washers down in the hole, tighten it down just very lightly, not very tight, not yet. After you tighten it down by hand, you want to look down inside the holes and see, make sure everything's lined up. And what I like to do is take these Allen wrenches and stick it in there. They don't go in there very far. They won't go through this side where the threads are at, but they will go all the way to the wheel on the other side. And now I will start to tighten these down a little bit. Go. You can see that it's seated well all the way around. That looks like it's going to be right. It's most of the way down, not all the way, but it's almost all the way. I'm gonna go ahead and take a couple of screws, and those holes I drilled, I'm gonna stick them down inside there. Go ahead and tighten them down, and these will go all the way to the hub on the other side. That way it lines everything up. And you can look through the other side and make sure that you are getting them in there. Yes, pretty clear that I am. Go ahead and tighten these down all the way. I'm gonna tighten these down a little bit more. Now I have two of these tightened down. Go ahead and take this piece off. All right, let's put those other screws in. As always, I hand tighten everything. There you go, it's that easy. And make sure you look around and make sure your bead is in there really well and that's not coming out anywhere. This one did that, and I'm going to show you. If it looks like this, you need to redo it. That won't work. There is a hole there, and air and water can get in and out that little bitty hole, and you don't want that. And there it is. I think those wheels look pretty good, and they are slightly taller than the Traxxas wheels. I guess it's kind of hard to tell, but these wheels are just a tad shorter. These look like they're a little bit wider, but these are definitely taller. I'm going to take this Bronco out to the mountain and give these tires and wheels a test run. All right, we went through all that just to get to this spot. I like to come to this slope right here to test out things whenever I change something on the Bronco or any of my crawlers. This rock is about a 45 to 50 degree angle depending on where you measure it at on the rock. It's not perfectly flat. I know it looks pretty flat, but it's not. It's got some little dips in it and it's got some humps on it. So, but it's right on the edge of what the Bronco can do. The Bronco barely wants to come back on this, and sometimes it will, but I have recorded it on the day I got the Bronco, so I'm about to show you a clip of the Bronco on the day I got it, and it's climbing this up for the first try. It gets it on the first try, but you get to see how it compares with the original tires on the day that they were brand new, the day that I got it, and then I can show you what this thing does with these new BF Goodwrench tires on there. Is this when we roll the Bronco?
We'll spot for you if you want us to.
Yeah.
Right, we'll stand here and spot.
There goes the bumper.
There you go.
You got this.
Yeah. Sweet.
Come on. Back over here. So close. Almost.
Nice.
You got it. I'm stuck.
Nice, ain't it? There you go.
There you go.
I think you can still walk it though.
There's a little ledge over here to move to the right.
Yeah.
All right, spot me.
All right.
There you go. Nice.
Okay, hang
That
on.
was cool.
I think that's a good picture right there.
Give you guys a close-up of what those wheels were doing. They're wrinkling a little bit. Look at these over here. Yeah, look at that. And these are just the stock foams that are in there. I really like these new wheels and tires. I think they perform just as well as the stock wheels and tires. I don't know if I can tell a difference. I think I can. They seem to be a little bit better than the stock ones. They are a little bit taller, and I think that kind of helps to get over obstacles a little bit better. I was worried that they were going to raise the center of gravity by a little bit and it wouldn't be able to climb the slope, but as you see, it did just fine. I think it did even better with these new wheels and tires than it did with the stock wheels and tires. I inspected the wheels and they all look like they're in good shape, good condition. And you saw in the video, this one in particular was really pushed way off the wheel. I thought it was about to come off, but it didn't. It held on tight, didn't tear or anything. I'm quite happy with them. Well, that's it for today, guys. I appreciate you for watching. I hope this video helped you out. I hope you learned something, and I will see you next time.